Here is another 2.1 speaker system. I personally don't use 2.1, but since I brought up 2.1 PC speaker in the last video, I was thinking it might be a good idea to talk about it perhaps just once more. It has more conventional connectors than many, like proper binding posts and RCA connections. I did not like the power cable bit, but there are worse kinds like spring clip speaker connectors, something like this, or built-in cables for worse. Where you have no option but stuck with rather unwanted bare wires. Let's talk about satellites. Well, they're quite tall and heavy for its kind, and it can stick out if you put this on the desk. Let me show you the comparison. So you can see they are much larger than the 2.1 speaker that I should just show you last time. But frankly, the height causes fewer problems than other dimensions, and when it comes to space, of course. And personally, I prefer a big size because if the satellites are too small, the chances are they will not cover much bandwidth, which leads to either loss of bandwidth or unwanted domination of subwoofer. One noticeable thing about these satellites is they are miniatures of JAMO's flagship R909 with its open baffle structure. As you can see, there's no enclosure, and that's what it means. So they claim to have advantages like no ports, no possible coloration, and so on. But we're talking about like $500-ish 2.1 system, so let's not get too excited. Let's talk about units. It has a quite large soft-dome tweeter for its kind, and two 3.4-inch PowerCon whoppers on both satellites. Okay, let's talk about subwoofer. It's 7.9K. It's almost like a cube shape. It has a 8-inch woofer unit on its side. You can connect your DAC via analog or digital. I recommend analog, by the way. And there is of course Bluetooth. Bluetooth pairing is okay, and sound is okay too. You can do much worse with the same money. And there's one more thing. This can be used as a soundbar. Just connect this and your set-top box with optic cable, and it's done. It will probably outperform most soundbars on the market. Remote. Let me show you the remote. Well, this is it. Well, it feels tacky, a little tacky, I think. Yeah, the side bit especially. But hey, we know there are worse kinds, like there's one of those like a card-shaped remotes, and it does its job. However, relying on this remote control alone is not recommended, but since there are only about like a 5 volume steps, so I would recommend to use either DAC's remote if you have one, or set-top boxes remote, or even mobile. That's of course in case of Bluetooth. So how does this DS7 sound? Well, it is pretty good. It does not have that typical bass heaviness of many 2.1 speaker system. Like subwoofer's unwanted domination that affects overall resolution was not the case here. As a result, sound is relatively clear and behaves more like 2-channel loudspeakers than many other 2.1 packages. Suppose you want a boombox-like sound, then this is not for you. Will DS7's performance is on par with 2-channel speakers? I'm afraid not, because there is a lack of intensity. Sound is more fragile and less involving than most, if not all, two-channel speakers of same price range, or even less. Matching DS7 with a decent hi-fi gears and placing both satellites and subwoofer close to the wall improves the sound quite a bit, but the fundamental problem still remains. This might be because of the open baffle structure of satellites, and more likely because of a bandwidth loss. The bandwidth loss is a typical symptom of 2.1 packages limitation, and of course, yeah, it has its own limitation. And after all, we're looking at like a $500-ish 2.1 speaker package. Well, there you have it. Would I recommend DS7? I say it depends. This will be great if you are looking for a Bluetooth speaker, a soundbar, or just a PC speaker that does not take much space. Will it be able to replace 2-channel loudspeakers? I say not really, but then again, not all demands are equal, and I gotta admit this little 2.1 package is fun to play with. Well, gotta admit this was like a spur of the moment thing. I'll be with more conventional, more serious gears next time. Thanks for watching. See you soon.